Okay, in this video we're going to talk about how we can install Ruby on Windows operating system. I did a recording of another guidelines on how to install on Mac. This is similar somehow, and I will mention the differences in between. So before going further, I would like to mention that the most important part that you have to remember always, that there is a website for Ruby language, which is www.ruby-lang.org. This website has all the installation instruction that I'm going to give you, and also is a very good place that you can go to in future if you want to do some kind of update to Ruby. So some operating systems, I should mention, comes with Ruby installed in, such as Linux and Mac. However, Windows doesn't come with Ruby. How can I test if Ruby is on your machine or not? So we can do the following. We can go to the command line. So either writing cmd, so let me write cmd, or if you already used it before, just write Ruby -v to make sure do you have it or not. So it seems here this machine has Ruby, which is a good way to know the version, even 1.9.3. So even though I have Ruby here, I'm going to reinstall the newest version, or at least the same version, to walk you through the process of installation. So the website that I just mentioned is ruby-lang.org. So go to this website, and from the downloads, go to Windows download. So you will see all the operating systems available for you in this location. And the one that you really would like to use is Ruby installer download. So go ahead and install it. This is the latest one. Save the file. So I'm going to stop it. I have it here. I'm going to run it. So you have to do exactly the same, accept the license and the agreements and the terms. Just install it. And you will have Ruby available. So now after the installation, if you go to your command line, in your case, and write Ruby-v, you should see exactly similar the version of Ruby. Before the installation should tell you your operating system. I don't have anything related to this command line. So we are ready to go here. We installed Ruby and we can use any editor for the installation. However, I would like to mention that there are some famous editors with Ruby that a lot of programmers use. One of them is the Cyte, and the other one is eText editor. Okay, so you can go ahead and install any one of those. And for me, I prefer using Eclipse IDE because all the programming language can be downloaded in Eclipse. So go ahead to Eclipse, and it's up to you actually. If you prefer different language, different IDE, it's really up to you. I am not gonna ask you to be strict to using Eclipse. Even the command line will be available for you. There are many different IDE. The one that I would recommend you to use is the Eclipse Classic, and based on the processor that you have, you can pick 32-bit or 64-bit. If you're not sure which processor you have, 32-bit will work on both. The difference is one will be using the DLL library, will be installed on your program files. The other one will be on the program files 86-bit. So you don't have to worry about it, just install the 32-bit if you're not sure. After you installing, it will take some time for installation. It just step by step is very easy installation. After you do the installation, we have to let this IDE understand Ruby. So open your application, the Eclipse, and we'll create a shortcut for you on your desktop, any place you would like to run it from, up to you. Then after you open Eclipse, you have to go to Help, then from Install New Software, and from here click on All Available Sites, will take some time. When you see the word pending, that means it's pulling all the application that works with Eclipse from the website to your machine. So you have to be connected to the internet. Okay. Sometimes will give you some messages that couldn't find some of the applications temporary. You have to look for programming languages. So click this arrow next to programming languages, and from there you should be able to see Ruby. Here we go. We have Ruby here. Just click on it and click on next. Okay, next, accept the terms in the license agreement and then finish. So it's going to do the installation. When it's done, we'll ask you for restarting Eclipse application. Okay, restart now. We still need to do one step after this. We have to tell Eclipse that we're going to use an interpreter that we just downloaded from ruby-lang.org. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to File, and before that we have to change the perspective from here. Click on the plus, click on the other, search for Ruby. I have it here. What else I have? Okay, I have it here. Okay, Ruby, and say okay. So now I can see Ruby. Go ahead and let me first make sure that I have in the preferences, go to Window, then Preferences, try to find Ruby, and then the interpreter. Here I have two types, so just click the one Ruby W, which is set for Windows. If you don't have it, just click on search, will pull whatever will find Ruby for you. So in this case, because I already found it, so you don't need to repeat it, but in your case maybe you find it empty here, just click on search, you'll be able to find it, and just check the one that says Ruby W. Say okay. Let us start with a new project. So new Ruby project. I will name it exercises. Next. Okay, I will say finish. Let me right click on this one, just new, and just to create a file. We're gonna test it if it's working or not. I will name it new.rb. So the RB is the extension for Ruby. Okay, so let us use print hello, and let us save it and just run it. So if you click run, we'll ask you script or test. Any one of them should work. I click the script. As you can see, we have it ready to go. It printed hello for us. The other command line is popular. It's very similar to print puts. The difference that the print will not add a new line at the end of your command. So here, if I repeated the print a couple of times, it will be one next to the other, while put will add a new line. So if I run it, say okay, we'll have the same. So let me explain to you what I meant just quickly. So if I copy this, C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, okay, so if I save this one and just run it, script, see, we will print everything one next to the other, where it puts okay, we'll save and just print. We're done. As you can see, we'll add the new line at the end of each command line. Okay, so Ruby is working. This application that we just saved it, we can run it also from the command line. The workspace is C users DL. Okay, so we have exercises over here. So this is our programs. The one that I just created is new Ruby. So let us go to command line if you want to run it just to try both solutions. So here I have, I would say, go back to desktop, and from here go to users and change directory to distance DL, and change directory to workspace. Easier just okay, and change directory to exercise. Okay, so I am in the same folder. Just run Ruby and just click new.rb, and you should get the same answer. Since we put the puts at the end, it runs the one that we just experimented with. So that's it, and we have it now in both environments. Just at the end, I would like to mention there's interactive environment that comes with Ruby. So if you search for Ruby from here and all your programs and just look for a folder named Ruby, here we go. Just run. This is an environment that allows you to write your command lines and will give you the direct answer. So here, line by line. So if I say hello, puts hello, will print for me hello. If I say print, you'll see the difference on the same line. So it's an interactive environment. It's good to start programming Ruby with it, but actually more efficient is to use an IDE environment such as Eclipse. I found it is better than command line or the interactive environment. Okay, so you are ready to go, and I hope Ruby is gonna start working with you.